Ladies and gentlemen, the following is another phenomenal episode of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. In one corner, we have the Monarch of Mardi Gras, the Baroness of Bourbon Street. Whenever she's not co-hosting Ringside Society, she goes on crazy misadventures, such as dressing up as a big boss man and trying to arrest people for petty crimes, and picking fights with random people while dressed as one of the Road Warriors. Louisiana's own Kathy Knight. In the second corner, we have the greatest thing on God's green earth. No, we're not talking about money, Mary Jane, or Popeye Spinach. He's the tranquil dart of Ringside Society, Delaware's greatest American hero. And whenever he goes to Taco Bell, he asks for a chief burrito because he loves the combination of chicken and beef. It takes two to make a thing go right. He's Rob Bass, and you are not. And the last corner, we have that ocean crossing, straight up bossing, flight catching, shot glass snatching. Where's he going next? Nobody knows. 3 continents down, 3 more to go. No cap, straight facts. The worldwide star boy, Remy Blue. But it's not about us. You see, we have a special guest tonight who's on his top team shit. That's right. And, you know, he loves professional wrestling so much. As a matter of fact, he is one of the first wrestlers that I've seen in all my years of wrestling who has successfully combined Japanese culture, anime, and pro wrestling lifestyle all in one. And he is so passionate about what he does, they call him the Passionate One. Everybody, welcome to the show, Neji Ichiban.
Woo! Thank you so much for having me. Quite the intro. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man. Hey, I always tell people, man. A little bit of Road Dogg here, a little bit of Justin Roberts, and I just yell at the top of my lungs. Hopefully, the neighbors don't come knocking on my door, and I just hope I sound good. So that's pretty much what it is.
I dig it. Yeah, I've seen a few of your guys' other interviews before, and I really do appreciate everything that all of your intros and stuff. So
Hey,
yeah.
we appreciate you watching, man. We appreciate all y'all, being on the show. Top team, most of top team. Nikki Heat. Many more. I see we have Ref IHOP in the building. Ref IHOP, you and I got to talk about that name, man. I mean, I've always said, and I don't mean to veer off the path, but there's a few things I want to do. Drink a beer with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Have a glass of milk with Kurt Angle. And you know something? I think another thing on my list will be to have some IHOP with Ref IHOP. I think he's a real cool guy. Once you guys sit down and have a couple of pancakes, I think he's a real cool guy. I'm gonna find that out real soon. But Neji, how you doing otherwise, sir?
I'm doing really wonderful, man. I've just been chilling at home since I got off work and everything. Just been trying to take every day one step at a time, and trying to stay on my toes and stuff. You know what I mean?
That's cool, man. Hey, as long as you keep moving, man, trust me, there's a way.
Of course.
Yeah, man. But I gotta say, man, when I saw your work, I'm like, wow, this guy's unique, man. Because you remind me, when I see you, you remind me of like 2 wrestlers I've always enjoyed watching, and that's the Great Muta and Macho Man Randy Savage. And I always thought to myself, man, this guy has it going on. Like if those 2 ever became one person, you'd get Neji Ichiban. I'm not flattering you. I'm not sucking up or anything. But I'm just saying, you put Randy Savage, Great Muta, put them together, you pretty much got Neji Ichiban right there.
Yeah.
And I saw you hit a guy with the overdrive, and the way you hit it with that intensity, I was like, man, this guy is no joke.
Yeah, I try to keep intensity all throughout and everything. I try to make sure that, by the end of the match, you will know my passion will prevail.
Awesome, man. So I gotta ask you, man. I always ask. I've asked, several members of the top team, and I'm gonna ask you the same thing. How did it all start for you? What was the match or the pay-per-view that got you hooked, that made professional wrestling now become your passion?
What match? I guess it's kind of like there wasn't really like a specific match, to be honest with you. I was a fan since, growing up as a child and everything, but then I fell off in '09 when Jeff Hardy had lost the WWE championship, and that completely crushed me and my spirits as a child. And so I was like, that's it. No more wrestling. My favorite wrestler lost the title. That's it. There's no more, because also at the time I didn't know about, ROH, TNA, or all of these other companies and everything. So I had no idea of Jeff Hardy's TNA run until way after the fact. Picked it back up in 2011. But as for a match, I guess you could say it wasn't specifically a match, but I would say Jeff Hardy and Kenny Omega were definitely like the two wrestlers that I'd say like a lot of their matches are basically why I've done what I've been doing. Cause I was so enthralled and captivated by both wrestlers in very different ways. Obviously, they're very different wrestlers, but I was just captivated by their matches, and I found myself going back and watching their matches more so than anyone else's. And then Stardom picked up, and so it's just a mix of everything that basically blossomed me into getting into the route of professional wrestling.
Wow, that's cool, man. 2000. Yeah, for some reason, I just realized something that I was sitting down one night, and you tend to think about things in the past. You look at things from like a neutral perspective, and
Mm,
I looked at pro wrestling from like on all fronts, with WB and Impact, and from like 2010 to like 2013, I think there was a bit of like a drought, like pretty much like it was there, but I was like, yeah, it's there, but it's just there, It's not like nothing that's really eyebrow raising, you
it
know.
was definitely a weird stretch of years until like I'd say like 14 to 16.
Yeah, yeah. 2014, like there was definitely a shift in the way business was done, and in a great way. And yeah, those 2014 and 2016, yeah, those were definitely the years where like a lot of independent wrestlers got to thrive and so on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure,
those
for
those,
sure.
those are very, very interesting. So tell us, man, how did your journey go from wrestling fan to now, you know, Neji Ichiban pro wrestler?
Huh. That's very loaded question. So it actually took me quite a while. I had joined the WWA 4 and started training under AR Fox in 2022 of February.
Okay.
And it was one of those things where like I wanted to do it, but I didn't think that, I was, good enough or was really athletic enough to do it. And then the more that I showed up and trained more and more under AR Fox is where I was just like, yeah, I think I can actually do this. And it wasn't until he said I was ready that I actually felt, oh, hey, I can do this. Because the entire time I was just like uh, going through these drills, going through these trainings, and just, going through a bit of a mental battle as well as physical with myself just to really get my head and my mindset into pro wrestling. Like I've always watched it, but it's different doing it than it is watching. And so as I was going through my journey and training with Fox, I would just always pick his brain, pick everyone else's brain just to, really see how it happened. And then one day everything just clicked for me and I was like, I will be the passion of pro wrestling Neji Ichiban. I will be the one that goes in that ring and displays passion, win, lose, or draw. No matter what, you will remember that my passion will prevail. And so that's basically like where I came up with everything, essentially. Obviously, anime inspirations helped with that as well. But in terms of wrestling itself, I give all the credit to AR Fox and everyone at the WWA for it, to be honest.
Yeah, you guys. I mean, I've known of the four, as y'all call it, for a hot minute. And uh, I know of AR Fox being from there. You know, I believe Mr. Hughes is a trainer there too. Curtis Hughes.
He was the original trainer before Fox had taken over.
Yeah, and I know that y'all had some great people from there. You had I believe Heath Slater trained there at one point,
Apollo
and yeah,
Crews, Moose, Austin Theory have also trained there. There's a lot of people that have come and gone through the four. So yeah, it's no surprise.
yeah, y'all definitely making a name for yourself, and it's very great to see that because I first found out about y'all 10 years ago,
Oh wow.
and yeah, there was a wrestler. I don't know if they still wrestle, but there was I think her name was Devin, and she married a guy by the name of Raphael. Her husband used to train there too, and then there was another guy called the ATLian that used to be there too. There was several. Yeah, yeah. I know about the four like back then,
Oh,
and yeah, it's great to
nice.
see that y'all are still going strong, churning out more and more impressive people, and and it's funny because just when we think that okay, we got done, interviewing this person from the four, you got this other person that we see that's looking hella impressive, and like now we gotta get them on the show now too. So it's like it's just more and more people that we see coming out of the woodwork that we like. Okay, wow, this person's interesting. We got to have them on the show. So just like you, like when we saw you, and then because I believe we saw your match against Keelan Cole, and then they mentioned Keelan mentioned you as well. I'm like, wow, okay, well we gotta get this guy on the show, man. I mean, Neji Ichiban looks hella impressive. We got to get him on the show too. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's great to see that the four is still churning out great wrestlers and so on. So you know you're a fan of Japanese culture as well. Have you ever gotten a chance to go to Japan yet, or you know?
Unfortunately not. All of my consumption of like Japanese media has, obviously been through anime. I'll try to go and look in like the deep web or whatever to try to find like some Japanese game shows and stuff, just, to have on as like some background noise and in case something entertaining happens. But nah, I need to. I definitely do want to go there. That's definitely on my bucket list and everything. Just because like it's Japan, and like I mean, the first anime that like I've ever watched with my brothers and stuff was like Dragon Ball Z and stuff. And then I moved on to Naruto, and then started watching all these different ones, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and so I would love to go, obviously, for like a lot of the anime stuff, but also for the culture as well. I'm very into like the Japanese culture in terms of like the food and everything, and sites and everything that's there, and just seeing. I would definitely love to go for a little while to like experience what the culture is truly like out there.
I could tell you firsthand, as somebody that was stationed over there for 3 years, it is all that and more. I would highly
Yeah,
recommend if you ever get a chance, whether you get booked out there or you get a chance to do an excursion like
Terry.
Teriyaki did,
Mm-hmm.
take it with a smile and go. Because trust me, it is all that and more. And I would tell anybody, if you get the chance to venture out, Tokyo is nice. I always tell people, Tokyo is fun. It could be a bit pricey, but it's fun.
Yeah,
Osaka is cheaper but and more fun.
yeah,
Um, and yeah, and then there's other places like you got Fukuoka, which is on the Nagasaki prefecture.
yeah,
Another great place as well. Actually, Teriyaki, he had a match over there too. And there's several other great places that you could definitely. And the thing is, you come back a changed person. Like I don't know about. I'm sure Teriyaki felt it, but when I came back, I felt like a bit more honor with me when I ended my Japan when I was at the end of my Japan tour. Like I was a different person when I came back to America.
for
So
sure.
I definitely hope you get that chance to go to Japan, and because it's unlike any other experience.
I will absolutely make my way out there, whether it be for a booking or whether it be for leisure visits. I am making it my goal to get out there at least in some way, shape, or form, because it's just been on my bucket list for years, and I feel like at this point now, especially with how big pro wrestling is in Japan, like, and how they view it and everything, I feel like I have to go there at this point. Like, I have to.
Yeah. So I gotta ask you. I just got two more questions. I know Kathy has a couple. Rob, not even mentioned anime. Rob is probably gonna ask you a bunch of questions about, oh, what anime would you recommend for me? Because he's always looking for stuff to watch. So
Yeah.
my last two questions. Second to
Mhm.
last question. Japanese wrestling. You mentioned Stardom and all that. I'm sure you saw New Japan and whatnot. Who would
Mhm.
you say are some Japanese wrestlers that have been influential uh, to your career?
Hmm. Japanese pro wrestlers. Number one, I have a top five for sure. Number one, I definitely say Julia from Stardom. She perhaps is, like, right now, my one of my favorite wrestlers, probably top five, and top three or whatever. But she's I really enjoy her, from her look, her presentation, even her wrestling style. It's just like, who doesn't love a badass that can also take a punch but will dish out blows even harder? So Julia would be one. Akira Hokuto would be another one. The Dangerous Queen herself. She is just like, when I found the All Japan women's tapes, I was just going through all of them. Watching the Aja Kongs, the Kyoko Inoue's, all of that. So she's definitely one of them. Uh, let's see. Keiji Muto, great Muta, obviously very, very influential in how I basically perceive myself and how I want to present myself as well, while still being the passion of pro wrestling. Just, I love watching him. Um, Man, this is hard when you watch so much. Shuri is another one from Stardom. Uh, And then Arisu Endo from Tokyo Joshi Pro. She is also really, really fun. Like, I'm really a huge fan of women's wrestling, as well, as you can tell.
Okay.
Yeah, so like, I'll make it a point to go out and watch both men's and women's wrestling,
So
especially if it's like. Go ahead.
go ahead, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, especially if it's like, of wrestlers that I'm very much so into and stuff. So, like, whenever I see like a women's match, I'll pay attention to it in, the same way that I would another match, because like, I just enjoy all wrestling. And like, I don't know, sometimes I feel like the women kind of hit harder, so I'm like, yeah, this is my cup of tea.
Yeah, yeah, I got a feeling too. That's why I haven't, I kind of steer clear of Kathy over here because, I got a feeling that if I don't act right, she's gonna hit me and I'll never recover and I'll have to like, just, you know, be sidelined from interviewing. So yeah, the women, I think they definitely do hit harder. So
Mhm.
so what would your reaction be if you heard WWE signs Mayu Iwatani?
Oh, if
My
WWE
reaction,
signs.
my reaction would be, y'all don't know what's gonna hit y'all. Like y'all don't see y'all just opened up like a hornet's nest, and all your
Yeah.
favorites are gonna go down. Becky, and
Oh.
but Becky Lynch, she's done. Charlotte
Yeah.
Flair, she's done. Bianca and Jade, because those three, and the reason why I say it is because Freedom, you know who Freedom is.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Kyrie Sane. A lot of people don't know who Freedom is, but we both know.
Yeah,
Kyrie
yeah,
Sane,
yeah.
Io Sky, Mayu Iwatani, those three together.
Mhm.
Woo-hoo!
That's a that like that would definitely be a game changer, because a lot of people are talking about, oh, what if Julia signs? What if Miyu Yamashita signs, or what if all these other wrestlers signed to WWE? But since you mentioned Mayu Iwatani, that was just, I didn't expect that, to be honest. That would be really that would definitely be a game changer because she's got like everything. I mean, the crowd interaction that she has whenever she has like her baseball and throws it out to the crowd, that alone can sell like a bunch of merch because then you can just sell a bunch of her baseball mittens and everybody in the crowd will be like, "Oh, Mayu over here, over here." That alone is like that's where my mind goes because I know WWE is like super marketing and like they trying to push out merch. That would be like my first instinct because she can throw, she can throw the ball out to the crowd, see who catches it, and like, say a child catches, they're like, "Oh, I caught my Iwatani's ball." So that would be really fire. I'm not even gonna hold you. The
Yeah,
matches would be
definitely.
just as good too. I mean, how can you not enjoy a match with someone whose bone structure is entirely made of rubber?
And has one of the best Northern Lights suplexes in the game. On top of all that,
I need you to watch Tokyo Joshi Pro because there's a lot of people who has crazy Northern Light suplexes and
I'm gonna check it
their
out.
bridges are crazy.
I'm gonna definitely try to check it out, man. I'm gonna definitely do my best to get more into the women. I know some names, but I'm not really like up to date with it. But I'll definitely get on. I'll definitely try my best this year to watch
Of
more
course.
Stardom and TJPW and all that.
Hell
So
yeah.
my last question, man. You got the look, and you got the crowd chanting Ichiban, Ichiban. I heard you. I saw a couple of matches. You had the crowd going, especially when Ichibanka, your song plays. I'm
Yeah.
like, man, this guy has the crowd going. So I gotta ask you, man. My last question before I turn it over to Kathy: where does Neji Ichiban, the passionate one, find himself? Where does he see himself in 5 years?
Neji Ichiban, the passion of pro wrestling in 5 years, sees himself displaying passion all over the globe. Not just in the United States, not just in Georgia, not just in Indiana, Tennessee, or wherever. Everywhere you turn, you will know the name Neji Ichiban and you will see my passion displayed day in and day out. That is where I see myself in 5 years.
Awesome, man. I definitely hope you get to do all that. Hey, y'all heard the man. Y'all better watch out for this guy. He's doing it the right way, and it's only a matter of time until everybody all over the world knows who this guy is. So with that being said, I'm gonna turn it over to Kathy. I know Kathy has a couple of questions on her end. Kathy, go ahead. The floor is yours.
All right, thanks for me. What's up, Neji?
Hello, Kathy. How are you?
I'm good. Is it cold enough for you in Atlanta? How's the weather there?
Yeah, it's pretty cold. It's pretty cold. I'm originally from Cleveland, so I'm kind of used to the cold, but I grew up here, so like it can still get to me. It's mainly just my toes that like that they get the brunt of it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I live in Louisiana and it's been about 17, 18 degrees. My
Ooh,
toes have been freezing. Not used to
ooh,
it.
ooh. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know that's gotta suck. Oh my God.
Yeah, I actually lost power for a good while Tuesday, well, Monday night into Tuesday morning. Had to sleep with no power, no heater,
Oh
no nothing.
no.
Just
Oh my God.
blankets.
And still
Blankets
couldn't
and
get
this
warm enough,
hoodie.
huh? Dang, you probably saw your breath as you were going to sleep, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty gnarly. Yeah, we take
Dang.
we take those things for granted. Like the simple, we think it's simple, but when it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah, for real, especially power. Like that's like most important. I've lost my power like not during since it's been cold, but several times that has happened, and I'm like, whoa, let me let me at least turn off a few things because maybe it's like being overloaded or something.
Yeah, I was actually in the middle of watching Monday Night Raw and it was flickering, and I was like, "Oh, don't you dare!" And then, boop, I was like,
Dang,
"No."
dang, not during the raw.
Nope.
That's
Like my
gotta suck.
power went out, my internet went out. I had to like
Hmm.
restart my phone because I was like, now my phone doesn't work. So I had to, had to restart that too. And I was like, okay, it works because I could
Dang.
go off of the network and stuff. So I was like, how am I gonna function? But I managed, made it through.
Yeah. Hell yeah. And I see at least you got your power back now,
Yeah,
so Let's
Yeah,
go.
it came back Tuesday morning. So, and then I was like, how am I supposed to work? I don't have internet. But then that came on, so I was like, oh, I guess I have to go to work.
I guess so. Yeah, I
Yeah,
feel that.
shucks.
Yeah, well, good. That's good that everything bounced back in your favor then,
Yeah, I'm not used to cold. I'm like, is it spring yet? I'm ready for
though.
warmer weather, which
Yeah.
actually it's pretty funny because I think tomorrow it's supposed to be like 70 degrees after it's been like 17 or 18 degrees. So that's
Oh,
crazy.
wow. It's supposed to be like 10, 11 tomorrow. So I'm
Ugh.
like, I'm gonna be super cold. I'm gonna put on 3 layers on head to toe.
Yeah, I can't deal with the cold. I'm not like a cold person. I know some people like it, but I'm not one of them.
I like it, but when it gets too cold, I'm like, get a little
Yeah,
warmer, please.
right. So,
Yeah.
you mentioned AR Fox trained you. We used to watch him in Lucha Underground, and then he's in AEW now. So that's one hell of a person to be trained by. He's awesome.
Oh, he's the best. Like there are so many things that I can say about AR Fox in a positive way, and it still wouldn't be enough to really justify how good his 16-year career is. It's like it's absolutely stellar, and I'm glad that you mentioned Lucha Underground because that just sparked going back to a question that Remy had asked about the match that got me like super into wrestling, Dante Fox and Killshot, the
Yes.
Ultima Lucha Tres match. That's what it was.
Yes.
That I will say that that is the match that definitely got me into wanting to become a pro wrestler. There was just something about that match. I don't know whether it was because I watched it with my brother or how it made me feel or whatever, but that all praise I cannot praise AR Fox enough. He is the GOAT. He's such a good trainer. He explains things in such a clear and concise way. Like I could go on and on about how great he is, and the fact that he signed to AEW, it's like it's just an icing on the cake because he's done all this and he's got signed, and like I want he needs to be used more. Point. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm asking. Tony Khan, use him more because AR Fox is too good of a talent to have signed to not use. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you said it there. I agree. Yeah, watching him in Lucha Underground, and then for Killshot, for the longest time, people were like, that's Swerve Strickland, right? I was like, wait, what? Like, I didn't even know. I didn't put two and two together because he wore a mask as Killshot in
Hmm.
Lucha Underground. So I think I saw it on Twitter one time, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute. It's like I
Yeah,
was today years old when I found that out.
I'm saying I didn't find that out until recently as well. Like within the past couple years, like I was watching heavy, but I didn't put two and two together. I think someone had told me. I think one of my friends had told me that Killshot was Shane Strickland because at the time he was Shane Strickland before he
Right.
became Swerve. And I was like, what? No way. And I just didn't believe him and was just like kept pushing on until, he shows up in AEW as Isaiah Swerve Scott. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. This is the same. And he was in Lucha. Ah, okay. I feel foolish of myself. But yeah, it was very, it was very, what's the word I'm looking for? Shocking to find out, but like not at all surprising because like he's just such a good wrestler as well.
Yeah, they're both so good. Now, did you pick AR because he was in Lucha Underground, or he was just like in your neighborhood, or what made you want to pick him to train?
It was a little mixture of both, but it was more so the fact that he was on Lucha Underground because it was my first time. Like when I had went to one of the shows before I started training, because I went to one of the Thursday shows before I started. I had went and like basically like introduced myself to him, and I was like, that was like one of the few times that like I was actually like legit starstruck because like I remember seeing him on my TV like pouring blood and just doing the craziest stuff on TV, and to see him in the flesh I was just like you know what I mean. So like it was a little mixture of both, but I would probably lean more towards the fact that he was on Lucha Underground and like in quite possibly one of my favorite matches to watch.
That is pretty cool. You can, something you watch on TV and you go like, "That's my trainer." You're like, you can kind of gloat a little bit. It's kind of cool, you know.
No, I do all the time. I even show my friends that aren't into wrestling like that. I show them like that match and everything, and they're like, "That's your trainer? He's the one training you?" And I'm like, "Yes, that is the guy. That is him." And they have nothing but positive things to say about AR Fox as well. Like even though they're not wrestling fans like that, they still see his work and appreciate it, and they're like, "Oh my god, like if this is the kind of wrestling that was on when I was younger, I don't know why I'm not a wrestling fan today," type of deal.
Yeah, when I was doing my research, it said, trained by AR Fox, and I was watching your matches, and I was like, I can see like the AR Fox in you, inside of you, the fast running and like the crazy stuff that he does is kind of like the crazy stuff you do, which we'll talk about that in a little bit. But like you got
Yeah.
some unique, like Remy said, unique crazy moves I've never seen before. And I've been a fan of wrestling for like 37 years now. I thought I saw everything, but when I was watching your matches, I was like, whoa, that's some pretty cool stuff in there.
Hell yeah. Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. You learn from the best so that you can perform your best.
That's right. So
Hmm.
you go by the Passionate One, and I was looking on your Instagram page. It says you have 7 passions. So what are those?
Yeah, so it's still a work in progress just because I haven't really had the time to really explain it, but basically the 7 passions are I guess you can call them alter egos, but the 7, like I sort of did a play on like the 7 deadly sins kind of thing, where instead of the sins, I have the 7 different passions, and like they're each level goes up uh to like more increasingly intensity, I guess you can say. So like it'll start out with like burning passion, fatal passion, then soulless, wonder of you passion, or omni passion. Like I said, it's still a work in progress, but it's an idea that I have going off of my head to just sort of have some sort of longevity and have better creativity with as the years go on, and sort of uh invoke different styles. That's also anime influence to me, where it's sort of like 7 versions of the same person. If you've seen Yu Yu Hakusho, and uh I forget the last dude's name, I think it was Senju or something like that, but he basically had like 7 alternate personalities or something, and that's sort of what I'm trying to go for, the 7 deadly passions, I guess you could say. But I can give you the names of each one real quick, but I need to be careful as to not. Okay, can you still hear me? I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. Um so the 7 passions: burning passion, fatal passion, soulless passion, heavy passion, wonder of passion, prideful passion, and passion inferno. Those are the working titles that I have for each level. And again, each one has its own backstory and its own intensity that you all will have to wait and see when they do appear.
That sounds pretty interesting. Yeah, as you were talking, I was like, yeah, this kind of reminds me of the 7 deadly sins, and then you said it, so I was like, there you go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was originally going to be 8 to play off of the 8 gates from Naruto, but 8 felt like too many, so I was like, well, let me just do 7, since one of the levels that I had is going to be, a little joking one anyway, so I wasn't gonna I wasn't gonna include that in the 7 deadly passions.
So will they you kind of adapt like whatever match you're in, you'll pull like one of the 7 out, and that'll be the one for the night.
Yeah. Um Yes, there are 2 matches that I have done it. I've done, Burning Passion. Well, there's been, like, 2 or 3 of them that I have actually, but, uh, one was against Teriyaki when I had faced him in April, and then the other one was against Blackjack Mac. Both matches I am 1000% proud of both of them. They are absolutely, like, top 5 matches of the last year that I wrestled in, and I I couldn't be more happy with the end result. And just being able to perform is just being able to wrestle is just the greatest gift. And wrestling against those two is just it's an experience, and like it's something indescribable.
That's awesome. So part of your character, which I'm a sucker for this, is you have some face paint going on with your character, and I'm a big Road Warriors fan, and Demolition, all that with face paint, Sting, another one. So you kind of have something a little bit in common with Ringside Society. You got in the middle of your forehead, you put a yin yang sign,
Hmm.
black and white yin yang sign, and then on you do one side of your face, it's like red, and it'll be white and black. Is there any like meaning toward all that?
Well, that is that is the effects of the uh the power of passion. That is the effects that happens, the after effects of uh when one of the 7 passions are activated. So whenever I implement that and activate that specific level, that paint sort of acts as like the scar to remember of that specific passion. So yeah, it'll change in the future, but for right now, this design is what I have been using for Burning Passion, and it's the residual effects of the Burning Passion.
That sounds pretty awesome. And then I've seen you have like I guess it's a white contact. They're kind of like a glassy eye sometimes too.
Yeah, yeah. White icon. That's when you'll know for certain that the passion is activated. I call it Forbidden Passion, and the Forbidden Passion has the 7 deadly passions. Um, but yeah, that's when you know that Forbidden Passion is active and out and about.
Awesome. So it's not just you sometimes that goes to the ring. You have a lady friend, a princess of passion.
Yes.
Stella Randy accompanies you to the ring, and at
Yes.
one point she got kidnapped. Is she back? Like, did you rescue her?
I actually did. I have a video in the works that will soon be posted that you will have to wait and see. I know it's
Okay.
very mysterious. I know I don't want to divulge too much, but just know that I may not have found her, but I have found where she was taken and loose bindings.
Okay, there's more to the story, so we have to stay tuned and figure out what happened.
Of course, always.
So we were talking about your move set earlier, and how I said it's a lot like it reminds me of AR Fox, which AR Fox trained you.
Hmm.
I was watching some of your matches, like your chops are really loud, and like the crowd even said that too. Like the people filming it, they were like, "Man, his chops are loud," but like you're up there with like the people. Gunther is like one of them. Like it sounds like a gunshot, and like yours are like right up there with his.
Well, I definitely appreciate it. I try to have chops as loud, if not louder than his. But it's also more so like a subconscious kind of thing, because I don't think, oh, this is gonna be a good one. I just do. So yeah, I don't know. I just started doing them, then they got louder and louder, and I was like, well, I guess this is my staple now. It's my
Yeah,
Ichiban chops.
you do like you do one chop, and then you do like I've seen you do rapid chops, and I was like, whoa, Not only does he do one and it's loud, but like his rapid ones are loud too.
Yeah, yeah, I don't let up. I told you, when I get in that ring and display passion, passion is what you will get.
Well, I definitely see that you're on the money right there. And then another thing I saw you do, you had a match against JDR last week, and
Yes,
you did a leg sweep, rolled around, and then did a cutter. I was like, whoa, that was pretty
yes,
awesome.
yes. I just thought of it one day, envisioned it, and I saw Fox do one where it was rolling forwards, and I thought, what if I did it going backwards? And so I did that.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the Ichiban roll.
Nice. And
Yes.
then I saw another one. You hook their leg and you go to choke them, but then you flip them over. You're like on your back choking them. I was like, that's crazy too.
Yeah, that's Saint Pablo's Lullaby. That's after my late uncle who sadly passed away, and I told him before he passed, and I luckily I got to show him that move before he had passed away, and I got to, tell him the name and everything. And yeah, that's Saint Pablo's Lullaby, and it will always be used to make someone go to sleep in honor of him, for real. Because yeah, he was the greatest. But yeah, that move definitely holds like a special place in my heart.
I'm sure he's watching down and smiling every time you do it.
Of
He'd be like,
course,
that's my boy.
of course, of
Look at
course.
him do
He
it.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. That's exactly what his reaction was when he saw it.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And then your finisher, you put your opponent's arm behind their back and you
Hmm.
hold on to it, and then you take your other arm and you put it on their head, and then you
Hmm.
pick them up on top and then you slam them, and that's pretty much your finisher. Like that's another innovative one I've never seen before.
Yeah, that's my Scarlet Overdrive. It's a very, I don't want to say it's fun, but it's pretty fun.
It's pretty neat watching it too. I was like, whoa, where's he going? Because like he got his, I was like, okay, he has his arm, and then I saw you put it. I was like, whoa, he put his arm over his opponent's head. Then I was
Hmm.
like, okay, he threw him over his shoulder, and then you just dropped him. You power
Yep.
slammed them. I was
Yep,
like,
that
that's
is
awesome.
gotta. Yeah, that was when I first did the move, that's when I knew that it was going to be like my finisher, at least one of
Awesome.
them. Yeah.
So there are some not so awesome aspects of wrestling, and you endured one. Injuries happen sometime, and you are so passionate about wrestling, but you had a broken jaw for a
Yeah.
little bit there. What was your like psyche through all that? Like, how do you bounce back from an injury? I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Uh, it's very, very hard. Everybody has their own different injuries, you know. You have, broken or torn pecs, torn ACLs, and like all sorts of different injuries being an athlete and stuff like that. But no one really ever thinks about, the broken jaw and how like it happens and stuff. It it's hard. It was very hard. I'll be honest. Like I wanted to quit. I wanted to give it all up. Just I wanted to go back and do everything that I was doing before. Just I would probably take like a more behind the scenes approach in wrestling instead. Like maybe do commentary or figure out how to work a camera or something. And it was tough. Like it was very emotional. I fractured my left mandible, and I had also fractured the nerve as well. So the first week I felt the pain surge from here all the way into my ear and stuff. And I'll be honest, if it wasn't for the Princess of Passion, Stella Randy, you may not see the Passionate One, Neji Ichiban. She helped me out a lot. She was with me throughout everything day in and day out, and I cannot appreciate her enough. She she guided me to no longer thinking about quitting, and matter of fact, going like even harder when I come back and everything. It was hard, but with her support and everybody else's, it was one of those things where how can I let all of these people down off of this? It was tough drinking my food for a month, but I got all the weight back eventually, and luckily I have all my teeth. None of my teeth were broken. The doctors were even like, you have some strong teeth, because normally with an injury like this, especially with how clean the fracture was, your teeth would be missing, but you have all yours. So crazy. But yeah, I have nothing but gratitude and nothing but thankfulness to everyone that supported me during the injury, and especially to my princess of passion, Stella Randy. There's no amount of words, no amount of thank yous or gratitudes that I can say that will really justify it. So I will leave it at that and continue displaying passion as a means of giving back to the ones that supported me.
Yeah, because it seems like when people get injured, it's like you kind of think, oh, that's it. Like, I can't do this anymore. And then somehow, somewhere along the way, you found your passion again. So, that's pretty cool. Like, where did you dig deep and be like, you know what? I'm not done. I'm going to keep doing this. And I'm going to do it maybe even better than I did it before the injury.
Uh, lots of breaking down. Uh, when I saw, like, when I would make my own food and then had to blend it up, that was probably like what started filling me with determination to get back and heal up. Like, it got to a point where, like, I can either sit here, cry about it, and quit and leave it all behind, or I can make something of myself and show that you can break anything, but you're not going to break my spirit. You're not going to break my passion. You are going to see the results of the fortitude it took mentally and physically to not only heal from this injury, but to bounce back 10 times better than I was. And I'm not ever going to allow any injury or any negative thought to plague my mind in an attempt to take me away from my passion.
There you go. Yeah, it's crazy what like the human heart and the human mind like goes through, and then you just like one day it's just like I'm gonna do this, and we just you put your mind to it and you do it. So humans are pretty cool.
Yeah, it it takes a lot, and I'm hoping that one day, maybe, in the future or something like that, my story with this can inspire someone else to do it. Because I don't just wrestle for myself, but I wrestle for other people so that they can see, hey, I can do something that I was once told, you can't do that, something that's considered taboo or whatever. You can do anything that you set your mind to. You can do anything so long as you have passion. Where there is passion, there is success. If you don't have that passion, then how can you keep going on? You know what I mean? That's the mindset that I undertook. Not everybody can have that mindset, and that's understandable and that's okay. As long as you keep going, then that's all that matters.
Right, I agree with you there. And even if you don't have that mindset, like over time, you can develop one, and
Absolutely.
it just happens sometimes.
Absolutely.
So I was scrolling through your Instagram, and outside of wrestling, I saw you play guitar. You had,
Yes.
playing a little bit of riffs there on Instagram.
Yeah, I play a little bit here and there. I've been playing since high school mainly. I'm all self-taught. I haven't taken a lesson. I should take lessons just to like get a better understanding of music, but I play uh I play mainly to like feel and stuff. I don't like the technical side of music is very important when making music, but at the same time, you look at someone like Dave Grohl who treats a guitar like a drum kit. it's kind of like you don't it's good to have, but you don't necessarily need that. And I like to play for fun mostly. But one of these days, who knows? Maybe you'll see me perform in that ring. I don't know. I have no bearings on that, but it's just something that I do in my pastime just to have some fun, take a step away from the wrestling, the games, and everything like that.
Maybe one of the seven passions would be a guitar player. There you go. Just gave you something to think about. You're welcome.
Hey, I see. Hold on. You're cooking.
Well,
you're definitely cooking.
there you go. The wheels are
That's a really good
turning.
idea. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That's really good, actually.
There you go. You'd be like,
Yeah.
thank you, Kathy.
No, yeah. This one goes out to Kathy Knight.
There you go. Awesome.
Oh yeah.
So there was something else I was scrolling through on your Instagram page that I'm jealous of. You have a husky. I always wanted
Ah,
a husky. He's beautiful
yes.
too.
Yeah, it's a girl.
Oh, she. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, we had gotten her, I think, in 2017, 2018. Yeah, I had gotten her when she was a pup. So like we basically like raised her and everything. She was 3 months old and stuff. And like she's actually her and Rocky, my other dog, the Pit Lab makes those are the dogs that are on my gear.
Okay.
Yeah. So like it's so I wanted to incorporate them as like, as a part of my gear as sort of like the flame or where there is smoke there's fire, and the smoke that rises from the fire. It was just like a concept that I had, and it honestly came out really good. Let me These ones right here. I don't know if you can see them,
Yeah.
but yeah, the DD DD Pro Wrestling, I think his name is on Instagram, is the one that did this gear. Oh, but yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
yeah, my older brother designed this side, and then one of my friends had designed this side, and so I was like, yeah, let me go ahead and get this made. And he actually, DD Pro Wrestling actually hand stitched everything. All of that is hand stitched, and it's still, I've wrestled in it basically every time I've wrestled, and it still is in peak condition, which is really impressive.
DD Pro Wrestling, is that like as in Duncan's dad pro wrest?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
He has a son that wrestles, right?
Yeah, Duncan
Duncan
Avicii, I think.
Abasia. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
had him on
yeah.
our
Him.
show.
Yeah, his dad is the one that had designed that, or had made that gear for me and everything. I gave him the design and the blueprint, and he, worked his magic, and he's just stellar. Like I've been going to him frequently.
Yeah, we had him. We had Duncan's dad, not Duncan. We got to get Duncan on here, but we had Duncan's dad on the show because we like that's the unique thing about it is like we also interview like gear makers, and so we're like, let's have a gear maker on here. We want to know their side of the story because what we
Hell
try to
yeah.
do, we try to give fans like wrestling fans like it's not just stories from you to pro wrestlers, but from like all the people that make it possible. So you know, and
Yeah.
Kathy's insisting like, oh, we got to get caterers on here. I'm like, okay, no, not happening. But
That is
we,
part
yeah,
of the show. I want to know what people eat.
okay. Well, hey, I'll tell you what. There's a guy down the road that makes sandwiches for the local promotion here. You can actually have him on and see how that goes. But yeah, we had Duncan's dad on here, and really cool guy. Told us a lot about what goes into it, and we try to like we try to incorporate like a lot of like people like that do stuff behind the scenes
Hmm.
that make the show like pretty much go on and so on. So yeah,
Oh yeah, that's cool. But yeah, he's very impressive. Like if you need some really high quality gear made, he will be the first person I will recommend every time.
Yeah, that gear's pretty fire. It's very detailed too.
Yeah,
A lot of detail in there.
yeah, he went hard with it. I was very impressed, and like throughout the whole time I kept apologizing and stuff because I know it was like, I know it took a long time. I know it had to. And I just have nothing but appreciation for that and the time he took to make it the way it is, to do, it was literally everything I wanted and more. So I couldn't have been more appreciative of it.
And by hand, that's much more, even more special. Like,
And
that's
that's what I'm saying.
crazy.
Like that's the thing that like that was the realization when he said that. I was like, oh my God. I'm like, when I went to pick it up, I was like, I'm so sorry. I did not mean for it to take that long.
Yeah,
But
and
yeah.
then Remy says we interview everybody, but I mean, come on, catering, you have to. It's part of the show. Look, he's all no. Yes,
Sometimes,
Remy.
look. Sometimes the catering has a really good sandwich and you want to know the recipe to it. That's all I got to say.
I want to know what they eat. What do they serve you? Like, what do you eat before you go to a match? Come on.
Yeah, it's yeah, it's very plausible, It's very plausible.
Sometimes that's the most important part of wrestling before they even go to a match. What do they eat? You got to eat before or
Yeah,
after, whatever they choose to do.
you gotta make sure that you have the fuel for before or after or whatever. Yeah.
You
Sleep.
know, you never asked Rob what he wanted to eat, what he eats before a one CW show, and he's a referee. I mean, what about Rob? He's part of our crew. Rob, has she ever asked you, what you ate before a one CW show?
I don't need to ask him. You say it in his intro. He likes chicken and beef burrito,
Yeah. They
tacos.
call me
But
There you
Neji. I
go.
like chicken and beef.
maybe he likes to eat something. We hired him for like a bag of flaming Cheetos. Maybe he likes to switch it up. You never know.
I go to wrestling shows all the time. Nobody asks me what I go eat.
Sometimes I have walking tacos. If the ladies auxiliary has that, the walking tacos. Oh, I'm getting that. Yeah, you best believe I'm walking around. I'm tearing it up.
Yeah, the walking taco is pretty fire.
All right, enough about food. It's making me hungry, and I
Yeah.
just ate. So,
Yeah, I mean, same, and I'm getting pretty hungry too.
so got one more thing before I turn it over to Rob. We can
Mhm.
see you the next time. Well, two times that I noticed that we can see you is next Thursday.
Yes.
There's an event in Atlanta called Brawl at the Hall 2, and you're actually in the main event, and there's a 5-man scramble that you're going to be a part of, which I found that pretty interesting. Main event. There you go.
Yes. We are. I am facing four competitors: Dante Darko, Keelan Cole, Grayson Pierce, and our oh so wonderful champion Rico Gonzalez, for both the internet and the world championship. The first fall is going to be for the internet title, and the second fall is going to be for the world championship. And I plan to go all in and take everything home.
Sweet. And then you have there's another show February 18th. You're going to be part of a tag team turmoil match.
Yes, Renegade Independent Pro Wrestling, I think it's called, RIPW. It's going to be gauntlet style tag team match in which, one team comes after another, and I'm going to be teaming up, funny enough, one of my opponents, Dante Darko. We, for this show and on, we will settle our differences and become one in Dark Passion Assassins, and we will be wreaking havoc and turmoil within the tag team hemisphere. And I'm very excited.
Ow, I can
Okay.
hear the crowd now. DPA, DPA, DP. I could hear it. I'm
Hmm.
just saying.
Yes, that is absolutely.
All right. Well, before I turn it over to Rob, I just want to say thank you for coming on the show. And it's been a very interesting interview, and I look forward to seeing where your career goes.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me again. I'm very appreciative of it.
We appreciate having you on. All right,
Yeah.
Rob.
All right, sweet. Thank you, Kathy. So what's going on, man? How's the interview going so far, man? You enjoying yourself?
Yeah, I'm enjoying myself for sure. I'm, like I shouldn't say this, but I am sitting on my floor, but I am surprisingly very comfortable on my floor, which is not something a lot of people can say. So I wouldn't sleep on it though, because I like my bed.
There you go. Yeah. Plus, you got some hounds, running around and stuff, man. They run around. I got three hounds myself. I got three beagles, and yeah, if I sleep on the
Hmm.
floor, they're just gonna walk on me. They don't know about stepping over or like, oh man, let me get
And
over here. Now there's like,
luckily my dogs do know to step over, but they don't know nothing about personal space. So
oh no, yeah, yeah.
so
I
I'll
have
definitely, yeah, I'll definitely have to cover my face sometimes.
I have my one dog Katie. She's like that. She has what you call a liquor license. Like anybody who
Mm,
comes over there, she'll just lick you to death or whatever. You gotta be like, all right, now I'm all right, good. Yeah,
yeah,
stop. I see you.
that's
Yes, okay. You're
yeah,
like, oh no.
that's how they say hi, and that's how they say, I love you, man.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's great. I love them all, man. They're awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're noisy and they always run around and keep me entertained and stuff, man. So
yeah,
I enjoy them.
yeah. Especially beagles. I was surprised to find out how noisy beagles are.
I know my neighbors hate me. One time I was walking my dogs outside, right? It was like it was probably about 11. It was like during the summer. It's like 11 o'clock or whatever in the afternoon or whatever. We're out walking in my yard and they got a scent, and all three of them, brr, brr, brr. So I'm like, oh Lord, so I got to sit here for 20 minutes. Nothing's here. Probably a bird landed in there. Well, I hear some neighbor kids down the road, and I just hear all of a sudden, shut up, shut up, be quiet. I'm like, oh man. They're going like this, like 20, they'll go forever if I just let them. Sometimes I'm like, all right, guys, come on, we gotta go. We gotta go. Let's go and
Yeah,
get a treat. Let's get a biscuit. And
yeah.
they're like, all right, yeah, let's go.
You said brisket. Let's go. Yeah, I
Yeah, they're
feel
like, they're
that.
like, oh, treat, food, biscuit. Yeah, all right, yeah,
Let's do this.
yeah. They're treat motivated. Yeah, they're very treat motivated.
I understand.
That's right. So, man, I wanted to go back on your guitar thing, man. Kathy brought it up and stuff and you said you play all like pretty much by ear, feel and stuff. Can you do that with any instrument and stuff? Because I have a buddy of mine when my friend, his older brother, when we were like 11, 12 years old, he's a couple years older than us. One day he was like, man, I want to learn how to play. I want to do guitar, man. He went out and bought a Fender, got a little thing and learned by himself, just playing by ear, Metallica, like he played Megadeth,
Yeah.
Ozzy, just maybe not lead guitar, but yeah, rhythm guitar, all that. So, Led Zeppelin he played. It's like,
Hmm.
he never took a lesson in his life. The only thing you do, you buy the guitar books and maybe look like, oh, this is where they place their hand. Okay, yeah, duh, duh, duh. That was
Yep.
about it, man. No lessons. Is that how you are? Can you do that with like any other instrument too, or just
Um,
guitar your thing?
I'm sure if I set like some months aside and tried to do it, I could. Like I could play a little, like tiny smidge of the trumpet, just because like when I was a kid, my uncle used to have a trumpet that his son would play, and so I would play that a little bit. But like I can only just make noise. I can't like play anything. So far, it's just guitar. Like I can keep a beat on like drums and stuff, but I mainly just stick with what I know in guitar. I do like to experiment with other things, and eventually, one of these days, if I set my mind to it, I do, just because of Weird Al Yankovic, just want to learn the accordion just
Yes,
because of that.
yes. I love Weird Al. Yeah, I would love to learn that too. That'd be cool.
Yeah, yeah, especially just because like I listened to his polka album one time and I was like, why does he make a bunch of parodies when his polka music is not that bad? But
Oh
yeah,
yeah, I
that's
remember.
my opinion.
Yeah. Oh no, go ahead.
No, 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 no. I was done. I was just saying that's my opinion on like Weird Al. I like his
Yeah.
polka better than his covers, even though I really enjoy his parody covers that he does.
Oh yeah, yeah. He was man. I've always liked Weird Al. I remember the one album I really loved the most was the Jurassic Park. Well, I forget what it was called. it's called Alapalooza or something's got like it hit like the
Yeah.
Jurassic Park thing on there. He's like, yeah, that whole tape CD whatever, man. I'm beating myself saying tape, but that whole album, man, it was hilarious. It was great. I
Yeah.
love Weird Al. I was
Yeah.
listening to him today. It was in my car. Gump sat alone on a bench in the park. My name is
Yeah.
Forrest. He casually remarks, yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah, he's just so good and like, I know he's very appreciated and everything, but like, he's just so good. My brothers and I would watch him all the time and like watch like all of his parody videos, and we just loved him.
yeah, I remember when we were kids, like my friends and I, we would always debate, like, man, if you ever became a musician, would you let? We're like, yeah, I let Weird Al. You can go there, say whatever you want, man. Yeah, right here, let's go do it. Yeah, go do it, Weird Al. Yeah, I
Be in the
wouldn't
booth
care.
with him.
Yeah, hell yeah, I'll be playing instruments, all that. Yeah, let's go, Weird Al.
Yeah.
Because we remember the thing with Coolio when he did Amish Paradise. I heard like he thought he got the permission, but they didn't ask or whatever. And they had a thing, but they settled it and all. Because we were like, man, I'd let him. Who cares?
Yeah. Yeah, I think Coolio had some beef because he had thought something different, but yeah. Yeah, I remember that too. But it was eventually cleared up, I think. And like
Yeah, they're
Coolio
good
was
to
like,
go.
yeah.
Yeah, he probably gave him cut him they cut him a check or something. He's like, all right, yeah, whatever. I'm good.
Had to. They had to have.
Oh yeah, that's right. Now, what you're talking about now, with the anime and all that, bringing the Japanese culture, wrestling and all that. I gotta ask, are you into the video games, the JRPGs, stuff like that?
Yeah, actually I am. I actually prefer RPGs personally, just because I do like to create my own character. I like to design all the little nitpicky details and stuff
Mm,
and then build off of whatever it whatever it may entail. Like Monster Hunter is probably my
okay.
favorite game series like of all time, and I just love the gameplay loop of that specific JRPG. I've played, Pokemon here and there. I've beaten, a few of them and stuff. I haven't I haven't broadened crazy much. I played a little bit of Shin Megami Tensei and Persona, but mainly I stick with Monster Hunter as like my main JRPG, just because I have a Switch, it's easy access to Monster Hunter Rise and stuff, and if I want to launch it on the console, then I will. Yes, sir. Yes,
That's right.
sir.
I was actually playing Red Dead Redemption on mine. I had it on 360, but that's one of my favorite games. So I was like, man, I can play this in bed, or if like I go to a wrestling show, I can play it before in the locker room, or before. Like, yeah, all right, let's do
Yeah,
this.
that's what I would do with Monster Hunter. I actually just recently got a the Star Wars 7 game heritage pack, and it comes with
Oh,
like
okay,
7 Star Wars games, and Knights of the Old Republic is on it. I've
one or
never
two.
played that one, and so I started playing it, and I've been having a ton of fun with that.
Yeah, man, I can go on and on for man. We don't have enough time today for Knights of the Old Republic. I love both of those games, man. I
I
can
mean,
sit
I
there and
see
be
the
like, oh man,
Mandalorian poster in the background.
oh yeah. Yeah. I can sit there. Man, I'll be like, man, all right, I'm going for evil playthrough this time, or I'm going to be a Jedi, or I'm going to be a mix of a Sith and a Jedi. You do
Oh
whatever
no,
you want on there. You can.
I'm taking all the dark side powers. I'm sorry, they got cooler
Oh yeah,
powers. I'm sorry.
oh yeah, those are awesome, man. You get the lightning force. You can drain power from each other people and your enemies. Oh
Hmm.
yeah, they're great.
I just got the drain power, but yeah, I've been really liking that game.
Oh yeah. Those two games, they're like one of my favorites too, man. I'm
Yeah,
surprised they have. I heard they were talking about a remake and all of it, but they haven't.
I
I hope
heard
they
that's
do.
actually dead in the water. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
that's what I heard. It's a rumor, but hopefully not.
yeah, yeah. I hope they can get it back and going. 'Cause Star Wars, man. And everybody will buy it. I would. I'd be like, man, it's a remake. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. It's still EA though, so who can tell?
Yeah, they're worried about Madden and their microtransactions and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
Worried about all the lame stuff.
Yeah, all that good stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
So I gotta ask, this year, WrestleMania is coming up, man. Do you have any plans for WrestleMania? Are you gonna come up here? Like, I'm in Delaware, man. It's in Philly. Are you gonna
Hmm.
be up in Philly, Jersey way, trying to get any shows? Are you gonna actually watch WrestleMania, or are you all doing where
Um,
you're at? You doing a show?
I'm not sure actually. I would like to go and go up to Philly and try to get on some shows and stuff like that, and maybe even go to like the GCW collective and stuff like that. I would love to, but I need to I need to like save money for that first. So I will probably be doing that, and my plan is to, try to ride with some people to go. I just gotta open my mouth and say something.
There you go. Ain't nothing wrong
Yeah.
with that. Yeah. Because hey, man, one CW, we're doing a show with like four other companies. We're not in Philly. The venue in Philly fell through, so we're like 15 minutes away in Jersey, in like Woodbury or whatever. So it's right there.
Oh, okay,
But we're doing
okay.
a show up there. It's supposed to be like an all day thing, like five different companies doing a thing. So we're going to be doing the thing. Yeah, it's on a Friday, April 4th. So yeah, if just one CW. I can't remember the other ones offhand, but yeah, you can hit us up or whatever if you're
Yeah.
trying. We might
I'm
have
in
some
the
spots
area. I'll
open, all that.
definitely hit you guys up.
Hmm. So, what do you have planned for 2024, man? You got some big plans. Like the year just started. You got a couple shows lined up and all, man. Are you ready to take some gold, kick some butt? Take some names, all that good stuff.
I mean, that's always the goal. Take names, kick ass, and stuff like that, and uh, go after as many titles as possible. And my plan is to continue that streak, whether it be for a title or not. I will. My plan will always stay the same in that I plan to display passion in front of as many people far and wide as possible, because that's what I do. That is what I'm destined to do. This is not just a job, but a passion. This is real. Like I'm this is something I'm going to do. It's not no if, ands, or buts, or maybe I can do this. No, I'm going to do this. And if I'm not the one that's speaking, if I'm not going to bat for myself like that, then how can I expect anyone else to? You know? So
Yeah,
my goal is going to be remain unchanged until something comes up. I'm going to keep going, keep my nose down, my ears open and everything, just listening to everything, going out, wrestling, doing everything I can here, there, and everywhere.
that's right. Yeah, yeah. I don't blame you, man. 2024. It's what's that? It's the Kobe year. And Kobe, he was a
Mm-hmm.
killer. So
Yep,
yeah, definitely get on. Yeah, definitely do that thing. I mean, yeah, Kobe was one of my
of
favorites.
course.
So, oh yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm only into pro wrestling, unfortunately. I know about other sports. I know, the impact Kobe Bryant had, and a lot of other a lot of other athletes and stuff, but it's not that like it's not that I don't respect or appreciate the other sports. I like watching pro wrestling more than
Mhm.
anything else. So like whenever I put on like any other sport, I honestly I kind of get bored of it personally.
Yeah,
But
just be like,
yeah,
man, you should,
that's
hit him. He needs to get hit with a Hurricane Rana right here, man. Be like, oh, he ran into him, man. Tazplex. Hit him with the Tazplex.
that's what I'm saying. Come on, like where's the Northern Lights? Where's the locomotion
Yeah,
Germans? Like where
that's right. I want to see somebody get in the corner and start pumping up for some sweet chin music, man. Let's go.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're on the side, they're getting ready to pass the ball. What are you doing? Elbow drop
That's right.
that.
That probably would make sports more fun. You allow some stuff like that because you like, like anything. Like, could you imagine like I don't know, like you're watching a baseball game and the pitcher's getting ready to pitch, and like here comes like a 400-pound gorilla or something, chasing after him or whatever. Just let him on there. That'd be more exciting, Hey man, what are you gonna do, man? Like, hey, or
Hey, like
you get some wrestlers over there, the sweet shit super kick party, hey, hey.
that's what I'm saying. Like that's what other sports are missing. More pro wrestling.
Yeah, you need something. Yeah, you need some stuff like that, man.
Yeah.
So I, so I gotta ask, going around traveling and all that stuff, to different kinds of shows all over the U.S. and all, man. Do you have any, funny travel stories you can share? Like, being in this, Georgia, all that, Southeast Tennessee stuff. I hear about, uh, 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 like Sasquatch around there and stuff, it might be down in the woods and stuff. Have you ever come across something like that, or, anything crazy, or has everything been, pretty chill,
For the most part, it's been pretty chill.
Okay.
Going back to when you had asked Keelan this question, we were driving to a show. We were on the way back home, and I took a wrong turn down like this creepy, dark, like what looked like a forest
Mhm.
area and stuff, and it was just like dark, just pitch black. I had to turn my high beams on, and I'm driving real slow or whatever, and like I hear Keelan in the back. I hear him go, "Man, this how horror movie starts." I'm like, "Oh
Yeah.
God, no!" And not but 5-10 seconds after he says that, I see a little girl's bike just on the side of the road, like on a ditch there. And I'm like, oh my God, Keelan, we're not jinxing this. So I immediately had to turn around and I just like floored it right out of there, got back to the main road that I needed to go on because I was like, nah, this is not how we're going to go out, bro. Like, we're not going out like this.
No, yeah, because you got a lot of questions on there, like, yeah, why is there a little girl's bike sitting there? Did she have a flat tire? Did something happen? Like, yeah. Why
Why
is it
was it
just
a
like
little girl's
randomly
bike?
here? Yeah, there'd be a lot of questions for that. Yeah, like, yeah, I go. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
out.
so yeah, we immediately, all right, whatever. We were like in the boonies too, so like it didn't help. So I was like, all right, we gotta hit a main road or a highway or something.
That's right. Yeah, I seen that movie Wrong Turn. Man, I know.
That's what
Jackie
I'm
Chan's
saying.
on that.
Like,
So
yeah.
I know about that.
hmm
Oh man, yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah, that would be the
Now,
only
before I,
story I got
pass,
though.
that's right. Now,
Yeah.
before I pass it on back to Remy, I do want to ask, if there's any, new movies or TV shows you're into right now, because I'm always trying to find something new to watch and all. Like, honestly, I haven't watched any anime in a while, but last night I was actually gonna watch Akira. But I was like, man, it's like I'm getting ready to go to bed, and when I watch that movie, yeah, I'm up, and I always see something different in that movie every time I watch it and all. So,
hmm
yeah, but like what are you watching right now or something you've seen you can recommend?
Um. Well, I actually had just recently finished Jujutsu Kaisen. If you haven't seen that, I highly recommend that. Um. I'll always recommend JoJo's Bizarre Adventure just because it's my favorite anime and I take a lot of inspiration from that. So if you haven't heard of it, I highly recommend to check it out. It's a very niche anime. You may not like it, but I'm still going to recommend it to you because I love it. So,
Mhm.
yeah, Berserk is also a really good one if you haven't seen it. The 1997 version, not the 2016 Redux. You can still
Okay.
watch that one, but the animation is kind of like bad. So I'm like, nah, let's not. Berserk, Yu Yu Hakusho, Hunter x Hunter, Baki. There's like the list can go on and on. I actually started watching Mashal Magic and Muscles. That's on Crunchyroll, and
Okay.
that's really good. Black Clover is also a really good one. Like you talk about strongest pull up in anime. Black Clover has some of the strongest like pull ups in anime. No, like the I at least I think like the way that the Black Bulls pull up on people, it's crazy. I can go on. I can go on about like different animes to watch, but that would be the some recommendations that I would have for you to watch.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, 'cause the last one I watched, my brother recommended me, Tokyo Ghoul. He had me watch.
Mm,
He's like, yeah, the first season was pretty good or whatever. It was real good. Yeah, 'cause my brother, yeah, right now he's watching Crunchyroll right now. Like when he goes to work, he'll just leave Crunchyroll on, for his animals or whatever, to do watching. He goes so that's pretty much that. Crunchyroll is yeah what he watches. Yeah, he'll
yeah.
switch it up to Hulu or something, change it up. But yeah, yeah, he's
hmm
anime. He's always been anime since we were like kids and stuff, man. Dragon Ball. I think he's probably seen every episode of Dragon Ball, and there's like 50 million of them. It's like, oh,
Yeah. Not as much as One Piece though.
oh yeah, no, oh my lord, yeah, that's probably like, ooh,
Yeah, that is a tall glass of water, which eventually I'll get into it, but I'll probably only stick to the manga over the anime personally, just because that's a lot to watch, and if you're gonna have me skip around to this, that, and the third just for it to get good, I'm good. I'll just read the manga so that I can get everything, and it's not gonna tell me to skip this chapter to get to here.
Yeah. Yeah, and plus you ain't got to deal with all that exposition that they try to fill in, and with shows and all that stuff. You're like, all right,
Oh, for sure.
I get the better version
like
here.
yeah, and plus I like reading manga anyway, so yeah, it's more enjoyable. Plus, like, just seeing the art style and how it was intended to look versus the anime. Sometimes I prefer the manga a lot more over the anime itself.
Oh yeah, man. Those manga, the arts, that I'm always jealous of artists because I cannot draw for anything. I can draw stick figures and all, but I see that stuff. I'm like, wow, man. Like, man, I wish I could do that stuff, man. It's like, man, I can't.
Yeah,
I wasn't
my
born with
older
that
brother.
talent.
Yeah, my older brother is a very talented artist. He's
Oh,
Jokar216, Jokar216. You can look him up on Instagram and maybe Twitter. He's on there too, but he's very, very talented, and I feel like he gets exposure, yes, but I feel like more people need to see his art just because it's that damn good, like it's one of those things where, like, why aren't people paying him more to make what he's making? He's just that good. He's been drawing since he was a child, so it's like, yeah, please, like, get more of the exposure. Like, I want him to meet his idols. I want him to meet Todd McFarlane, Jim Lee, all of this, and he absolutely deserves to do that, just because, like, he didn't take, like, the easy way to get to where he's at. Like, he started pen to paper. He started, before tablets, before digital media and stuff, and he's just like, he's just so good, and more people need to see his art. Like, needs to see his art, not just like needs to. Point blank, period.
That's right. Did y'all ever have drawing competitions? Like, man, can you draw this or whatever? Did you ever, or did you ever have him like
drawing competitions with him? Oh, like at me asking him to draw?
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't like that. We have, but he doesn't like that.
Okay. Now, when I was a kid, I had some friends that could draw at school. I remember being in art class, and I remember a friend of mine one time. He literally drew the Punisher, sitting there with like his guns or whatever, it looked like the comic, and I'm over here like, oh, I traced my hand and made a turkey. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, here we go. That's like, man, where I go. That's as far as I can go.
I made a paper plate into a face. Like,
yeah.
Come on now.
It's like, look, I folded this piece of paper and now it's an airplane.
That's the best. That's the one. That's the one.
That's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So now, before I pass it on back to Remy, man, I want to say, thank you very much for coming on chatting with us, man. I had a blast. I wish you nothing but the best in all your future endeavors, man. I hope you get to go to Japan. I hope you get to kill it over there, winning gold everywhere you go. I hope you get to go all the way around America, everywhere, North America, South America, everywhere. Kicking butt, taking names, collecting that gold everywhere you go, man. I hope you accomplish all your dreams, you and your family and stuff, too.
Thank you. That is absolutely the goal, and I will do all of that and more.
Neji, thank you very much for taking time out of your schedule to be on our show. We really appreciate it. We wish all the best to you, all the best to top team. We know y'all killing it, every one of y'all. Like I said for the 100th time, y'all like the Wu-Tang Clan of pro wrestling, man. Like, all y'all got talent, and all y'all are just like doing your thing. You got the Northside Heroes and Dante Darko who doing their thing. They're doing the thing in the Midwest. You got Teriyaki who just got done doing a tour of Japan. You got Renegade Enforcer, Blackjack Mac, and Lucas, Jay Lucas, who actually just got done doing a South American tour, about to go back and do another South American tour. So y'all just and I forgot. How can I forget? You got Keelan Cole, and also you got who's doing his thing too, fast rising name, and you got the most dangerous man in top team, who I hope we're able to get him on here real soon, Mr. Danger, who's killing in GCW. So y'all are just thriving, and we wish y'all the best. Still waiting for that top team, that top team merch though, man. Still waiting for y'all to release a couple of shirts, man.
Oh
Definitely waiting for
man,
it.
yeah. Don't worry, we got you. We got you. Trust.
Yeah. But actually, your brother, man. Honestly speaking, we just had I'm in Brooklyn, New York, so and we just had like an art exhibit up here. That for some Japanese artists, it was like I guess you could call it a pop up. It was at a museum in the city. Went over there, very nice. When you mentioned your brother's an artist, it took me back to like a couple months ago when I was at that museum. Hey, I would highly recommend like if he gets a chance to come to New York, man, just check it out here.
Yeah.
You know, and if he has his art on display over here, let me know. I'm a photographer on the side as well too, so I do photography. So I'll take
Hell
some
yeah.
pictures of his artwork as well too. I do that as well. Yeah.
Well, I will definitely make a trip back to New York one of these days because I know it's definitely a big place for artists to go, and
Oh yeah.
a lot of big name comic book artists and stuff are there. So
Oh
I
right.
definitely.
I forgot. There's New York Comic Con and Anime Con. Oh, y'all would have loved that.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I forgot. Yeah, I forgot about that too. Isn't that happen at the beginning of the year?
New York Comic Con happens around October, like a little before Halloween. Like I think
Oh,
a
I'm
week or
tripping
two
then.
before Halloween. And Anime Con, I believe, is sometime in November. I know it's definitely way before Christmas. It's definitely before Christmas. So I say
Okay.
probably like mid-November. That's when that happens.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna let him know and stuff because we definitely have been needing to go back for that and stuff because what better place to go than the hub of artists and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I can't tell you the amount of crazy photos I've actually taken, like just going to those conventions and having people like thank me for taking their picture and everything. So yeah, I definitely recommend that for y'all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So before we shut this show down, man, where can fans find you on social media when they want to find out your next experiences, purchase Neji Ichiban merchandise or top team merchandise, hopefully. And where can bookers and promoters find you when they want to book you for their shows?
Well, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Neji Ichiban. Facebook or Instagram and Twitter is Neji_Ichiban, and then Facebook is just Neji Ichiban. You can hit me up on the social medias for all promoters. You can hit me up there. You can also email me at neji454@hotmail.com. I know, very dated, trust. But yeah, those would be like the best points of contact to get in touch with me and to follow me and follow my journey.
Awesome. So y'all heard the man's social media links, his booking promoters. You heard his booking emails. Give this man a shot. Check him out. Book him. Like I said, you won't be disappointed. Hopefully, 1CW, the powers that be. I'm not gonna call any names, but hopefully they hear this and they actually book this guy WrestleMania week. Definitely, it's gonna be a vibe. But with that being said, once again, Neji, thank you very much,
Of
and
course, thank you for having me.
keep on doing the great work. We really and truly appreciate you doing this. And with that being said, it's about time for us to shut this show down. My eyes are getting heavy. My stomach is rumbling. That means it's time for dinner and a nap. Maybe not in that order, but before I partake in those activities, Kathy Knight, the money penny to my James Bond, and I can't even think of any other comparison. But where can fans find you on social media when they want to talk, wrestling, all things Becky Lynch and Paige, and all that good stuff?
So you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and Discord, all at BLUE70517. And you can also find me this Saturday at All Fury Pro in Houston, Texas. So come say hi.
Right. Yeah. We're sponsoring some wrestlers for there. Yes, All Free Pro this Saturday. Check it out. Lots of great men and women there too. Rob Bass, the Mel Gibson to my Danny Glover, the Tommy to my Ghost, and the Bubba Ray to my Devon. Where can fans find you on social media when they want to talk wrestling, find out where your next experiences, purchase Rob Bass merchandise, and where can bookers and promoters find you when they want to book you for their shows?
You can find me on Instagram and X, Rob_Base82, Facebook Rob Base, and you can catch me our next show for 1CW is February 3rd. Uh, we have a very very special guest going there. Bobby Fish is going to be there, and he's also running a seminar beforehand. So there's very limited spots available. So if you're able to come up there and do the seminar, oh Remy was about to say something. Hold on.
No, go ahead.
What were you gonna say, Remy? Okay, yeah. So if you're there, you're around there, whatever, you get, do the seminar, go sign up. Spots are limited, man. So definitely somebody to learn from. You can catch us every Saturday morning, 10 a.m. DelmarvaSportsNetwork.com. You can see us on the app or on Delmarva Sports Network if you're in the Delmarva, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia area. You can catch us like that. Or if you're out of the area, yeah, just go on DelmarvaSportsNetwork.com. Check out 1CW. You can watch all past matches and get all caught up to what's going on today.
Awesome. Yes, that's another thing. Check out 1CW. Great promotion. WrestleMania week. I'm definitely making a mission to check out their shows and whatnot. Seen a lot of great people there. Rob, do me one favor though. I know Kathy always puts you up to a lot of Daredevil stuff. Please do not ask Bobby Fish how many fish he could fry if he could fry fish. Please. I don't want you getting injured. We don't have health insurance here. Do not ask that man that question. I know Kathy probably would.
I won't even eat a fish stick over there, man. I won't even get no fish sticks, man. I'll stay with chicken.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, definitely check out 1CW, y'all. Great show. Lots of great talented men and women there. Shout out to Sean Carlson, Sean Hardy, doing great things over there with that promotion. And if you want to find me on social media, not that I say a lot of cool things, but I do go to a couple of cool places. Next week, I'll be in London. Stay tuned for that. You can definitely find me on Twitter and Instagram at the Remy Blue. You can also find me on Facebook under the alias Remy Blue as well. And our podcast is also on social media. We're on Twitter and Instagram at Ringside Society, Twitch at Ringside Society 2019. We're on Facebook as a Facebook group. We're also on Spotify. We're also on Teespring, where we have official Ringside Society merchandise, city-themed merchandise coming soon too as well. Watch out for that. And last but not least, we have a YouTube channel where you can see cool interviews like this one, like the one we had with many other members of Top Team, the Northside Heroes, Teriyaki, Keelan Cole, Blackjack Mac, Dante Darko, so many great men and women there, even Nikki Heat as well too. We've so many great men and women from not just from WBA4, but all over the world of pro wrestling. You can find all those interviews on YouTube, and all you got to do is real simple. Go on YouTube, type in Ringside Society, and when you see that really good looking dark blue and light blue yin yang sound with the blue flames around it, that's when you know it's us. So make sure you subscribe to all our videos, because we got a lot of cool stuff coming up, and you don't want to miss a thing like Aerosmith in 1998. As a matter of fact, tomorrow I'm not promising. If we have the time, we just might do a review of Iron Claw, the famous Von Erich movie that's all the rage right now. We might do an interview on that. Just stay tuned for that. Not interview, a review. So just stay tuned for that. And yeah, just definitely check us out on YouTube. You won't be disappointed. And with that being said, we just want to thank everybody tuning in live tonight. Thank you very much. Really, truly appreciate it. We're one of the best wrestling podcasts a wrestling fan could, should, and would listen to. And we're not going to stop being that. To those of y'all that are going to listen later on, we get a chance. Thank you very much in advance. And those y'all that hate us, can't stand us, really truly wish we'd go away. Well, like myself at the Golden Corral, Rob Bass at the Taco Festival, and Kathy Knight at Cafe Du Monde for the buy one, get one free special, we're not going anywhere for a while.
They hate us because they ain't us.
And we ain't stopping. So with that being said, we just want to let everybody know that we're very well and aware. It's no secret that everybody and their grandparents and the parents of a podcast. But we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not just any podcast. Hashtag, we are not the same. So with that being said, hey, yo, Rob Bass, Kathy Knight, one time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, one time for the four, one time for Top Team, and one time for the Passionate One Ichiban, Neji Ichiban. Sorry, I kind of messed up there. One time for Neji Ichiban.
Woo!
What type of podcast are we?
All right, 3, 2, 1.
We're the Wrestling Fans
Podcast.
That's right. We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast. Pardon that delay there. Different time zones, but we're the Wrestling Fans Podcast. Ringside Society. We'll be back with another impressive guest on another impressive episode. But until then, we just have 4 favors for y'all. Stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, and enjoy wrestling. We out. Peace.
See y'all. Good night. Stay classy, Delaware.